Hi. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Okay, so I know you're all hanging out waiting because you think that Brock Pierce is going to be here today. Unfortunately, there was a last-minute cancellation. We had to reschedule. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but something came up and he was not able to be here. So we did reschedule for Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern. So that's 3 p.m. Pacific. So I'll be here with Brock on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If that's what you're here for, come back then. If not, then I don't know, we can hang out, talk about whatever you guys want this morning. What's up? Anyone got anything they want to discuss? Comments, like, subscribe. Anyone? I'm waiting. All right. Yeah. Well, so I guess that gives me a few more days to prepare even more questions and material for him. I think that you guys are gonna like some of the questions that I've come up with. I think it's gonna be different and unique from what you've seen other people ask him, and we're gonna have a different kind of conversation, which hopefully will add some value because it won't be the same as everything else. How's the sacking going, Nerd Girl? So I'm mostly done sacrificing. I just sacrificed on day one, and then I sacrificed again when I showed you guys how to do a complex transaction from inside Staker app. And then I'm going to sacrifice 2 cents, just a little bit more, because I want to make a donation to Sense. And it's just going to be a small amount. I'm just waiting for the last 2 days. What's next with PulseChain? I don't know, Mom. The next phase will be, the sacrifice being complete and the testnet being launched. So Richard recently said that would be happening in the very near future. I don't know when, but sometime after the testnet launches, then that's when there will be the snapshot, and then that's what will determine what you get airdropped, or the credits that you get airdropped that will be worth nothing, which are redeemable for tokens, that are ERC20, ERC 771s, and then your Ethereum for Pulse, of course. It's like a lot of waiting. I kind of can't wait for it to be over so that we can just move into the next phase of development and bringing more people on board. I can't wait until the testnet is launched so that it's no longer a question of how efficiently things will run or are running, and it's just everything's running and people can say good things. Did I see Richard on the DS stream? Do you mean last night with the girls? I didn't watch, actually. But I should watch. Did he come on to Discourse Syndicate with the ladies last night? I'm sorry, I'm not sure. Yesterday was my daughter's birthday, so I was spending some time with her and my family, and I'm a day behind on streams. Brock should do an interview with RH. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm not opposed to that. To be clear, it's not a snapshot. It's a last block after which the nodes will become PulseChain. Okay, but isn't it still because everything will still continue to run on Ethereum, isn't it still a snapshot of what people are going to be holding in their wallets that will determine what gets airdropped? Oh, he was with RG3 on F and Hangout. Cool. Yeah, I'll watch it. I will. That sounds cool. Like I said, I'm a day behind. Bitcoin bulls always turn to bears because Bitcoin is crap. Okay. Yeah, it's just a title, guys. It's just a clickbait title. So, yeah. I guess I'm being specific because a snapshot implies that there's a gap in time between end of ETH and start of Pulse. Okay. I guess maybe that's like not what I meaning to imply, but for intents and purposes, like, because there won't be the snapshot does it imply a gap in time? I thought that it implied a time when wallet balances are recorded so that the equivalent wallet balance can be airdropped. I didn't really know that it implied a gap in time, but I learned something new every day. How did I invite Brock to talk to me? Do I know him? So I have interviewed Brock 4 times. This will be the 5th time that I've interviewed Brock. 3 of them are recorded. The first time that I asked him to talk to me, I just sent him a message. Actually, just tagged him on Twitter. And I was working for a crypto media outlet. And so I just listed my credentials and asked him to talk to me. And then ever since then, I have had his email address. So I just emailed him. He's really accessible and like one of the easiest people to get to talk to you because he doesn't care how many followers you have. So that's kind of cool. Yes, it's not an airdrop in the traditional sense, right? Because you're not actually being dropped the token itself. You're being dropped a representation, or you're being dropped a credit, which you can redeem for, or you may or may not be able to redeem for a token. Is that better, Kyle? Thanks, Danny. No, I don't want to. Nerd Girl, I do appreciate the work you're doing posting bridges. Thank you. It's, sometimes not like, I don't know, I get exhausted and people who are like negative and stuff definitely have a bigger impact than I had anticipated. Even after observing it for a couple of years, like being a part of it has been different and challenging. So I appreciate everyone who has been doing this for longer, and I imagine that many of you are completely exhausted, done. I understand the impulse to burn rather than build. I wish I could get on stream with you and I'd explain differently. Do you want to come on stream, Kyle? I'll send you a link. Just say yes if you do. Someday, could be today. I'm surprised you don't have more followers. I am too, guys. Let's get more. Oh, you can't. Working. Okay, another time. All right, let's see. There's some controversy about Brock when he was an actor, Digital Entertainment Network. Do I know about it? Yes, I do. I've asked him about it in previous interviews. I feel like there's been quite a bit of coverage over it, so it's not really what I wanted to get into just because there is so much that I have to ask him about that yes, there's definitely quite a bit of controversy. I'm familiar with it. I can provide links to previous interviews if you want to see me ask him about it. But yeah, it's not really the focus of what I'm doing this time. It's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy what you're doing. Taking flag from all sides. Thank you. Yes, that's true. Good to see you too, Corey. Good to see you all. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry, you're all here expecting to see Brock, who something came up last minute, and we need to reschedule. So we are rescheduled for Wednesday evening at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern. So be here for that. Brock would be a good person to organize Puerto Rico events. Definitely a good person to get involved with for Puerto Rico in general. In fact, I'm wondering if many of the Puerto Rican Hexicans have been in touch. That's one of the questions that I'm going to ask is like, what level has Hex and Pulse been on his radar already, because of not only their price appreciation and some of the similarities to what they did to EOS, but also because of the strong ties to Puerto Rico and his involvement with the community there. Let's see. Can I ask Brock, what was EOS's biggest challenge in terms of growth and adoption? Seems like BSC and some newer chains eclipsed a lot of the excitement that EOS had. Yeah, I can ask him about that. Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure that he'll know because he did leave Block 1 shortly after EOS launch. But yeah, I will absolutely add that to my list of questions. That's something that we should know about. Writing it down right now. Okay, written. Ask about his relationship with Collins Rector. No, I'm not going to do that. We've already kind of covered that, like briefly. We've discussed it before. I have a lot of things that I want to ask him about, and that like specific question, not that it's off limits, because I've never been given guidelines or limits about what I'm allowed to ask about, but it's just like it's been asked, it's been done. There's documentation about what he said, and I don't think that we can do anything new with that. So I don't want to just like beat a dead horse and, repeat stuff that is on every other interview with him or, older interviews with him, because anybody who wants to see his response to those questions can just go and look. What I really want to do is get answers to questions that nobody has asked him before, and have new information. That's kind of the whole point. I really don't like to ask people the same kind of questions that everyone else has. Mostly, for one thing, like this is a small channel, so it's not like people are watching this that haven't seen other, bigger pieces. And like, it's not like getting information to people who don't know it. It's like the people who are watching have probably already seen a lot of that information. If they haven't, they can just go look for it. I want this channel I want my stream at least to be giving people new information that they've never experienced before, at least where I'm able. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, have some cool questions. I think you'll like it. All right, I really like that Pulse has a great community built into it from the start. I think that will pay dividends in the future. Yeah, I agree with you. Some of the, because of how strong the Hex community and how tightly knit the Hex community is, Pulse has that built in, definitely. I'm hoping that, a lot of the toxicity that came with, that resulted from being the target of, negativity over the course of over a year, kind of dies off a little bit with Pulse, and so it's more open and accepting so that more people can come in. I think that we see that happening, but there's still elements of that, of that toxicity that are coming along with it. I'm hoping that that, kind of plays out like we've seen with with Bitcoin, though they claim the toxicity is a feature, we all kind of make fun of that, that speech at the Bitcoin conference, toxicity is a feature. So I'm hoping that we can learn from that mistake and not make the same one ourselves. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think Nerd Girl is going to ask about this stuff. I've already said I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not, because I'm going to ask new questions. So I have asked him about some of those things previously. Provide links to those interviews for anybody who wants to see that. Also, other people have asked him like more extensively about, about those kinds of things. So I'm just going to let those points lay as they exist and move on, because there's other things that are relevant to us right now that matter. Have Bitcoin maxis really said toxicity is a feature to Bitcoin? Yes, indeed. There was a entire presentation at the Bitcoin Miami or Bitcoin 2021 Miami conference that was about how toxicity is not a bug, it's a feature. I believe that was even the name of the presentation. So yes, they have. And people cheered. So yes, indeed. 44 watching, 50% thumbs up. Let's fix that ratio, guys. Smash the like, click subscribe. Please. It helps the algorithm. So yeah, like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. Let's see what else. Okay, so if you're just now tuning in, we rescheduled Brock Pierce for Wednesday evening at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, we'll be doing it then instead. So if that's what you're here for, come back then. I do have some unique questions, and I think that we're going to get some ideas that are different from what we've seen come up in previous interviews. I always try to be a little bit different from what everyone else is doing, because if you're doing it like everyone else, then what's the point? So come back then if that's what you're here for. Yeah. I love looking at your tiara. Thank you. I love looking at my tiara too. I need a tiara spinner. Someone build me one, please. All right. Good morning, Black Sheep. Toxicity is a psychological malady. Only children of immoral gods talk that way. Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe people like naturally get a little bit of little toxic and don't realize it. Like everyone has toxic behaviors at certain times. So, I think really all we can do is be aware of it and try to be a little better. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like everyone experiences, everyone exhibits toxic behavior at times. It happens. You're out of here? Okay. See you next time. What else? What else do you guys want to talk about? What's going on? I don't know. Okay. Oh, here's something that I was talking to RG about. He's like, the bull flags on Hex right now, they're so, like, they're all there. Why isn't it pumping? Why isn't it pumping? And I said, you know what? I have some insight here. So what I believe is going on is that Hex isn't pumping with the rest of the market because the market believes that Hex is decorrelated, because it's something that we've been saying, on social media for a long time. So we say that Hex is decorrelated from the market, from the rest of the market, because it's tied to USDC and not tied to Bitcoin. So I'm not I'm not sold on that theory of that's how liquidity works. I'm working on something regarding that. But regardless, the market believes that Hex pumps when everything else is dumping. So if everything else is pumping, not that Hex can't pump alongside it, but there's an emotional level of trading that goes like that. Like, you have to consider emotions. And if people believe that Hex won't pump with the market, then it won't, because people won't buy it. So like for all of our Hex is decorrelated and this is great. Like, okay, it's great until there's a bull market and everything else starts pumping. And even though Hex should be pumping, it isn't, because it's decorrelated. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to get over it, because I do like the decorrelated idea. Let's see. My mom says she just bought me a new tiara, completely different from all the others. Geez, Mom, I've got so many tiaras, but thank you. All right, we got a super chat. Let's show it. Do you know a way to rewatch your seed phrase once logged in to your Staker app wallet? That's a great question. I don't know of one off the top of my head because I recorded mine the first time that I used it. So let me see right now. I'm going to look, see if I can figure it out. If anyone knows, feel free to drop that in the comments, please. So, settings. Yeah, sorry, I don't know off the top of my head how you could do that. There probably is a way. Let's see if someone comments. And if not, then I will figure it out. And I don't know, if you're on Twitter, let me know what your handle is. You can private message me if you want, or comment it in the chat, and then I'll follow up with you. It's a good question. Uh-oh, my mom's on. Everyone behave. Yeah, no, probably not. You know, my mom's pretty cool. I mean, yeah. Yeah. So what's up? What else is up? So yeah, the decorrelated. What do you guys think about that? I mean, personally, I think that that's probably why, despite there being several bull flags on the trading chart, Hex is not pumping along with everything else. Also, it did pump just significantly while everything else was dumping. So maybe that's some of it. You know, there are people who trade it. Oh, here's a comment. Okay. I believe Hex is dumping because it's broccoli season. Since there's so much broccoli inflated and are being harvested, price is lower than off-season time. Yes, definitely. It's related to broccoli. Great observation. So I'm assuming that this is about my broccoli poll. Yeah. I don't know. It was a good poll, right? Like, it got a lot of engagement. It was funny. I liked it. I was laughing. So that's really the point of me posting most of the time, is amusing myself. Sorry, yes, I liked that poll too much. Yep. It was good. I need other stuff that's that good. But unfortunately, that's the kind of stuff. So like, that's the kind of stuff that only comes like really organically, and I just like think of it, and it's like I can't plan it, you know, it just has to happen. Hex is a long-term game. The correlation is irrelevant. Well, it's relevant if you're a person who's holding large liquid bags, which I'm not, or if you're someone who looks at their net worth and, like, you know, it bothers. Like, it's not relevant if you're 100% staked, but if you're someone who is counting on the value of your Hex, or is, you know, looks at their net worth like repeatedly, then yeah, it does matter. It does matter. Yeah. Understanding why the market moves when it does is smart regardless, because if you want to, if you're like, oh, okay, everything just pumped or everything just dumped, so Hex just pumped, believing that Hex will continue to pump, even though knowing its pattern is not to pump, is pretty relevant. So yeah, it is relevant. Do I think there will be $1 billion sacrifice before we end the sack phase? I don't know. That would be cool. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen before the end of the sacrifice phase. Like, it would make sense that if there was going to be a huge move like that, potentially from the OA, that it would happen at, you know, towards the end of the sacrifice phase, just because the bonus is lower, and like based on the OA's previous actions, the OA wouldn't want to take the bonus for, the multiplier bonus for being a whale, because I don't know, it acts a little bit more fairly, I think, than a lot of people would. So it would make sense that there would be a huge sacrifice at the end. I don't know. I guess we're going to see. We're going to see really soon. It's almost over. Broccoli should make the market stronger. I agree. Broccoli should make the market stronger. I look like a queen with a tiara. Did Richard Hart inspire me? Actually, yes. Okay, so right before I had BitBoy on this stream, I was watching a Richard video, and he was talking about why he talks about his watches and like all the opulence and stuff, and saying that people like to watch, saying that like the backgrounds matter, and people don't put enough effort into what's behind them, and then also what's on them. And I only had a couple of hours, so I didn't have time to like completely rearrange my background, but I was like, okay, I have time to find stuff that like looks opulent. So I was like going around the house trying to find like the sparkliest jewelry that I could find, and I found this I found actually a different tiara that's my daughter's, and I was like, oh, this is sparkly, I'll put this on. And then people responded like overwhelmingly positive to it, so I started wearing tiaras. And yes, it was Richard Hart inspired. There's so much people that tried to play the market and were hoping for higher USD value later in sacrifice. The first 5 days were the best days. Now the price could be dipping to punish those people. Yeah, totally. It's something that I've considered also. Like, I mean, especially because like Richard was saying early on, don't try to time the market with your hex, with increasing value of hex. And I actually didn't sacrifice any hex. I sacrificed USDC and Ethereum. So because I wanted to guarantee the value with the USDC, because I had a certain dollar amount in mind, and I really didn't want to try to play the how much is hex going to be worth game. So yeah, maybe it is a punishment. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's just like normal market behavior. But yeah, no, I know there are people who had like huge hex bags that they were waiting to sacrifice, and they were like, I'm not sacrificing under 20 cents or under 23 cents. And, now that number looks further and further away, right? It seems less and less likely that you're going to get to sacrifice the dollar amount that you thought. So, yeah. Yeah, me too. USDC and crab coins, but kept all my hex. Yeah. So like I had bought more hex going into like on the announcement that Pulse was going to be launching and that there was going to be a sacrifice, and like intended to sacrifice some of that value. But then I couldn't, like, I didn't want to do it. I was like, no, I would rather hold on to this hex, get a copy of the hex, and sacrifice something else that I don't want or need as much. My background is lit. Well done. The cat and the candelabra is cool. Yeah, so I changed the background a lot since then. It used to be like the shelf was sitting differently, and yeah, it's just a little bit less showy. And then I got the hex shelves and the hourglass. And my mom got me this candelabra for my birthday. That was definitely inspired by Richard. And the cat I always had. So thank you. Funny to see all the random coins that were sent to the sacrifice address that weren't on the sacrifice list. My mom sacrificed a random coin that wasn't on the sacrifice list, like not realizing that you couldn't sacrifice just like any ERC20. So yeah, I mean, luckily it wasn't a huge amount, but yeah, that happened to a lot of people. More hex, more P hex. Yeah, being a trader won't pay off in hex and later in Pulse. Just a good design. Totally. More T shares, more PT shares. Exactly. RH is pretty astute with his observations. Yes, he is. Here's a compliment for my mom. Hi, Mom. Thanks for blessing us with a bright and wonderful woman. Thanks, Mom. All right. If you like cats, I have 14 of them. Whoa, Hodl Dog, 14 cats? I'm actually really allergic to cats. It's not that I don't like them, it's that like I can't breathe around them. This one is the exception. Don't y'all think that CryptoFace was rude to Richard and took advantage to shill his indicator? Is CryptoFace the guy who was on like 2 days ago and he was talking about his own coin and like how, I can't remember what the name of the coin was, but how would his coin work on Pulse and like would it disrupt the supply? I don't know, like the one that I watched, I didn't think that he was really rude to Richard, but like also taking advantage to shill his own indicator. Like, I don't know. I think that anybody who goes on the stream with him at this point who has their own project is going to do it, like for, to get exposure. That seems natural. Like Richard goes on streams with other people to shill his, to shill Hex and Pulse. So I don't know if it's like really fair to jump on other people for doing the same thing. Maybe. I'm okay with placing somewhere around 7th, 1000th plate. I think we will all do well 18 months from now. I think so too. Can we stake Pulse? Yes, you will be able to stake Pulse. So the top 33 holders will have the option of being validators. And if you're not in those top 33, then you'll be able to delegate to the validators for staking rewards, but they won't be time locked the way that Hex is. I actually sacked a shitcoin knowing I wouldn't get credit, but to move it to a credible coin would cost more in a transaction. So it was a tip to Richard. Nice. Nice first name, last name. Well, we'll see what he does with those. Not a coin, but yesterday he was on Richard's stream. Check the last stream. He was shilling his trades on buyback. Oh, maybe. He must have had a lot of followers because that's probably why Richard would want to do a stream with someone like that, would be to get exposure to their followers. Otherwise, he would just cut the guy off on his stream like we've seen him do before. Let's see. I went all in the first 5 days. Did I make a mistake? The Excel sheet which showed up confused me. I don't think you made a mistake, John Bishop. I sacrificed everything within the first 5 days too because I wanted that potential multiplier. So like a lot of people were waiting. They were talking about like waiting to sacrifice until the price of like later in the sacrifice phase because they anticipated that the price of Hex would be moving up throughout the sacrifice. Those people were wrong. So right now, Hex is worth less than it was at the beginning. And now a lot of those people are not only not going to get the multiplier, but if they sacrifice at all, their value is going to be less. And they may, if they had a certain dollar amount they were going to sacrifice, they will have to sacrifice more Hex to achieve it. I don't think that you made a mistake at all. I did the same thing. I didn't want to like play the game and try to time the market because it's like I'm not a trader and that's not what I do. I don't think you made a mistake. CryptoFace is okay. Richard has known him for ages. Yeah, but watch yesterday's stream though. Okay, I'll watch it. I told you guys I'm like a day behind. At least CryptoFace was one of the rare who streamed on his channel parallelly and wasn't afraid to show RH to his audience. I thought that everyone did. I thought that like everyone who comes on Richard's stream is parallel streaming it because it's usually Richard who is doing the parallel streaming. Like the primary is someone else's. I mean, not like from viewership standpoint, but it's like someone else asks to do the interview and then he simultaneously streams it to his feed. I don't know. Price is pumping a bit and crypto trader worship. Is the total amount of Hex increasing or decreasing? Do you mean the supply caused D? Okay, I haven't seen the interview with CryptoFace in that case. I'll have to watch it later. If what you mean is like the circulating supply is always going to be increasing because it's got built-in 3.69 annual inflation. So yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that question. Maybe you can clarify. I hope to see y'all in 200 years, thanks to Sense. Yeah, that would be cool, right? Like if we could all live forever. But here's the question for like that I have is like, okay, so if, you know, Sense is successful and a lot of us are able to live, you know, forever or for much, much longer times, like what about fertility and reproduction? So will fertility still cap out at certain ages, like you know, or will people be like reproducing into infinity? Or are we talking about living in a completely digital world where like our consciousnesses are just uploaded, so really like physical space won't matter at all because we just live within a computer? I don't know. Let's see. Even the thumbnail making fun of Richard. I don't know, guys. Like, so, okay, watch CryptoFace's latest stream. Even the thumbnail is making fun of Richard. So it's like easy to get caught up in like defending the person who has made you lots of wealth or, you know, helped you accumulate. But like, for one, Richard doesn't need help. Like he's totally capable of defending himself. And for another thing, like sometimes it's just clickbait. Like I've made fun of other people's leader with a name. I've made fun of our leader with like a catchy title to try to get people to watch. Sometimes it's not really about what it says it's about getting people to view. So I don't really know how much, I mean, whatever, like be mad if you want. Nick Green, Hex Machine, Richard knows CryptoFace. It's the same guy he's spoken to for ages. Yeah, so exactly. Like, I mean, like I said, like I've made fun of, I've put like fake Toshi titles and, you know, stuff where my interview with Craig Wright. And it wasn't because I really wanted to like make fun of him. It was because I knew that that would get a lot of people to watch the video. And that was what I was after. So there is a way to live forever, just not by human effort. Okay. CryptoFace came off as a complete douche, taking bong hits midstream. That's not uncommon for crypto streaming. A lot of people like that. In fact, like people think it's real and they enjoy it. As RH said, he looks outside the plane and there's a lot of empty space. People choose to live in crowded places. Yeah, people want to live in communities. I mean, I don't want to live out there in the middle of nowhere because I don't want to like run my own water lines and electricity and not have access to basic things. Like I'm always going to want to live in where there are other people. Let's see. CryptoFace is a deegan. He trades and steals people's money legally. That's what trading is. Yeah, it is. Not dying makes new problems. If you don't regulate birth, then we're going to populate like a cancer tumor and this world will fill up like a blockchain, I guess. Yeah, totally. So, I mean, but that's the thing is like, if we're just living in a digital reality and we can just, you know, continue to create new blockchains where people can move to, then like, yeah, I don't know. No, is it really a problem? I think people will be happy with just 2 children because let's be honest, 1 or 2 children is like enough work already. Totally. I have 1 and I'm not having any more because it's enough. Yeah, it's enough work already. But there are always going to be people who like to procreate. And then I guess people who don't. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with like, you know, advancements in if life is extended and people end up living considerably longer, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with reproduction, if there's going to be like a lot of advancement there too or not. We'll see. I'm taking bong rips during this stream. Yeah. Good for you. Bob Marley said wealth is eternal life. Maybe. I don't care about his consumption. It is not terribly professional. Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people do things that aren't professional on stream. It's really a matter of like what, you know, how you want to present yourself. So like, I mean, people would say that me wearing a tiara isn't super professional, right? It's like, maybe it is professional. Maybe that's the professional image that you want to portray. Plus, like, it's his stream. It's not really up to you, right? We need more buyers for the crypto, so make more people to buy them. Someone got to buy my bags. I enjoyed Crypto Face interview. It was funny. Yeah, but watch the newest stream after it. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch that stream. Like I said, I'm like a day behind because of my daughter's birthday, and then I've got her birthday party today, so I may be a couple of days behind, but I'll watch it. I will. You guys are all talking about it, so I obviously need to know about it. Yes, they know each other, so I doubt it's anything malicious. Exactly. Very well said, Archie. 8 billion people. I'd say procreation days are at an end. Nature's fed up. What do you mean, weatherman? So like nature is fed up. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Are you saying that like you think procreation is at an end because people are not procreating, or because there are more and more people who are experiencing reproductive challenges? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Richard called his indicator a copy paste on stream. Okay, well, I'm going to watch it. I'll watch it. Okay. Got it. So CF responded in a new stream calling Pulse a copy of ETH. Well, Pulse is a copy of ETH with some improvements made, right? Yeah. A lot of people are dying due to pollution. Yeah, but what does that have to do with procreation? Happy birthday, nerd girl. So it's not actually my birthday. My birthday was earlier this month, and I turned 37. It's actually my daughter's birthday today. Yeah. Happy birthday to her. So no, not today. Yesterday. I don't know why I said today. It was yesterday. Yeah. So we're going to the water park this afternoon. If it doesn't get rained out, it's going to be fun. You do you. I agree. Cash Plus. Thank you for the $10 super chat. It's streaming. If you're comfortable with your setup, more power to you. Yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. I like your setup. I like my setup too. I like it's kind of cool, right? It's kind of good. I don't know. Still some changes that could be made. Someone said I really need a different colored chair. I was looking at thrones, but like the ones that I like were pretty expensive. And the inexpensive ones, like they seem like they sit really low to the ground. And then also they don't have arms, which I want the chair to have an arms. So yeah. Water park, woo woo. Yep, it's gonna be fun. Hi folks, I've been lurking. The overpopulation story has to do with getting sold on the scarcity mindset. There's abundance in the world. Enjoy it and let other people enjoy theirs. Yeah, I agree. I mean, definitely there are places that are extremely overpopulated and there's land that's inhabitable, and people want to live close to each other. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I like the red tiara too. Thank you, QC. Everyone get a Vu Manchu free cipher AB indicator. Oh my gosh, okay. More and more people with their mindless sex and mindless sexualities and sexual ideologies fail to see the world that they create. Okay. Oh yeah, his stream after Richard is pretty salty. I just had a peek. Okay, so 2 streams that I need to watch now. I will. All right, what else? What else do you guys want to talk about this morning? If you're here and you weren't here earlier and you don't know, my interview with Brock Pierce has been rescheduled for Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in then to see me interview Brock. Let's see, could add a couple of tiny succulents or cacti on the windowsill to break up the whiteness. Yeah, actually, so I have a succulent back there. Yeah, I could put it on the windowsill. That's a good suggestion. Thank you. Thank you, Nick Green. Yes, you can, Wake Dog. Wake Dog says, I'm sexually fluid. I can turn into a liquid and form another sex. Well, these days you can form genders like anybody can, right? So, yeah. Lol, this stream is too white. Well, so people have said that it's like my pale skin on the yellow with the white, like it's washed out. So I've been trying to wear darker colors on stream. The great thing about Hex is how it eliminates inefficiencies in the economy. Yeah. That is a great thing about Hex. I like Hex. I like time locks. I think time locking is really cool and creates a lot of I mean, there's a lot of uses for time locking that I didn't even think about until after I got involved with Hex, and it's really like you could potentially have your money to pay your mortgage like set up for 30 years or 15 years or however long. I mean, like that's a cool function, right? Like right there. Like you could self-collateralize a mortgage. Of course, you'd have to have, 3 times what it's worth, and somehow it's something that we talked about on this stream before, actually. Looking forward to Brock's view on PulseChain. Yeah, actually, so I'm looking forward to finding out his level of what he had even looked into with Hex because of the way that it was kind of similarly launched to EOS, and then same with PulseChain. So, and then also because his heavy involvement in Puerto Rico and the numerous Hexicans who have moved down there to minimize their capital gains liability. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting piece. Also, very early on, for the first Hex conference, the organizers had asked me to reach out to some people who had bigger names, and one of the people who responded positively and didn't just immediately shut down the possibility of coming on was Brock. And when I reached out to him about it, he was like, "Hey, we should talk." And then we never have gotten to talk since then. So I'm interested in a lot of his perspectives, actually. I think it's going to be great. Question, isn't Brock convicted of child pedophilia? You read that somewhere. So he was implicated in a case with a former employer. He was not convicted. He was actually exonerated. You can look up the information. He has been accused of being involved in, with children, but there's no so he was definitely involved with some people who were involved with it, but he himself didn't face the charges as being personally part of it. In fact, at the time that he was involved with the person, he was underage himself. So if anything, his involvement may be different from what you're thinking, but regardless, that's not really what I want to talk about in my stream with him. I want to talk about his involvement with cryptocurrency and perspectives on Hex and PulseChain. Like I said, I've discussed some of those other things with him, and other people have done so. You can look up the record of those interviews and what he's said before. We're going to move on to new topics that haven't been discussed before. So, sexual fluidity, I get that. The soil will become the soil and the garden will become the garden. Okay. All right, guys. I think it's probably time to wrap this up because we're just randomly talking about things now. Not that I don't love random discussions. I do. But let's wrap it up so everyone can go have a great Saturday. Is Brock still an EOS guy? I think that he still supports the project, but is more involved in the overall crypto, with regulators and overall cryptocurrency scene and getting things, getting regulators to understand what's going on with cryptocurrency. So I don't know. We can ask him. We can ask him on Wednesday. How about that? All right, guys. So if you're thanks for tuning in for the stream. And I'll be here Wednesday at a different time from normal, 3 p.m. Pacific with Brock Pierce. come on in if you've got questions. Let's try not to repeat questions that have been dealt with. I've got a list already. I'll do my best to get to all of yours. Have an awesome day. Bye.